tried to film this so many times and I am just not stringing sentences together in a way that feels hugely coherent, but I'm gonna try it one more time and we're just gonna stick with this take. This is the take, this is the vlog. Hello, welcome if you've made it this far into the video. My name is Jessica, this is my cat Graham, and I've been doing vlog updates roughly every week during the month of October to talk about my knitting, to talk about what's going on in my life, and specifically to talk about the Stephen West MCAL shawl that I'm sure if you're, well, I'm not sure, perhaps you have heard of. A lot of people are knitting it this year, perhaps other years, but this is my first year knitting it. And so yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video this week because I've just started working at school. I'm doing a school placement, I'm training to be an English teacher, and I'm so tired. Like, a huge absolute kudos, hats off to anyone out there who is working with children or in a school or is a parent or who, you know, is a teacher, if I've said that already, because it's so tiring. Oh my goodness, there's just so much going on all the time, and it's long days. I have to drive 40 minutes to get to the school placement, so I'm up at 6:30, which is not that much different to when I usually wake up, but it's up at 6:30 and kind of out the door 7:30 to get to the school for 8:30, and it is a long day and there's a lot going on and I'm learning a lot of new information, so I wasn't sure if I'd feel up to doing a video this week, but to be honest, I'm bored. We had a half day yesterday, so I kind of did all of my like vegging out. I just watched like 7 episodes of Gilmore Girls in bed and knit on my shawl, and then ate a very kind of plain roast vegetables and Linda McCartney sausages dinner, and then went to have a very, very early bed. And now, you know, I've got another 2 whole days of what feels like weekend, so a great thing having a half day on a Friday. It really blows the weekend wide open. But yeah, it is now I think like 11:30 or 12 o'clock on Saturday, and I was just like itching for something to do, and I thought I'll film a little update. But as I sat down to film and set up the shot, the doorbell rang. And who was at the door but the postman, and what did the postman bring? But, oh, I'm gonna not show the front side because it's got my address on it, don't make that mistake again. But a box with a sticker on it that says open me on November 28th. What could it possibly be? Is it the first of the 3 yarn advent calendars that I ordered this year? It is the first of the 3 yarn advent calendars that I've ordered this year. I don't even know if I can justify or explain that, but this is one of the ones that I've got, and it is from Skein and the Stitch, I think. I meant to look up her handle and her name before filming this, but I just got so excited and I've started filming it. And actually my camera is flashing at me, so I may be cut off abruptly, in which case it'll cut to me slightly later, but I'm going to keep talking until it cuts me off. But this is from Skein and the Stitch, I think, and it is a DK weight yarn advent calendar with a skein weekly, which is why it says open me on the 28th of November, not the 1st of December. So it is a full skein of yarn every week in the run up to Christmas, and then I got the one that has also like a special thing on Christmas Day. And I'm super excited. I kind of forgot that I'd ordered this because I ordered it so long ago, so it's a really nice surprise. And that it's come at the end of October. I mean, I have to wait a whole month now before I can open it, so I don't know where I'm going to put it. But yeah, that's very exciting. I had never heard of yarn advent calendars until this year. I did not know that they were a thing. But then when I got really into like knitting podcasts and knitting YouTube this year, I saw a lot of people's vlogmases, and obviously in Vlogmas people are opening their advent calendars, whether it's like a chocolate one or a tea one or a yarn one. And I thought, oh, what would I do with 24 mini skeins? I don't know. And then the more I watched it, the more I was like, no, I want one. I want one. And I had no idea where to go. So I went to where you go when you don't know where to go, which is Etsy. And I found quite a lot of options and I could not choose. So I got 3. But it's not quite as bad as it sounds because I got this one, which is the full skein. It's more like I've got 2 than 3 because the other 2 that I've got, I went for the half size option of each. So I've got 2 more coming that are 12 skeins each. So it'll make up 1. So I've essentially got 1 full skein advent calendar and 1 mini skein advent calendar made up of 2 for the Christmas period. So that'll be really, really fun. And I mean, I don't know if I can keep up with doing Vlogmas, but maybe I'll do something like this where I do a little weekly update during Christmas, during the run up to Christmas, and then I can show you all of the colours and all of the different yarns that I'm gonna get. I'm very excited. Hello, it is now 4 o'clock, 4:30, 4 something. Some time has passed. I had some soup, cue footage of soup. I made a soup today. I'm trying to make a soup on the weekend so that I can then eat the soup every day for my lunch at school. When I'm working, I can eat that soup for lunch. And this week I made a squash soup because it's Halloween weekend. A squash and sweet potato, and I roasted the squash and the sweet potato with some onions and some garlic and a carrot and cinnamon and nutmeg and salt and pepper and olive oil for like 45 minutes, and then I just blitzed it with like loads of stock and a little bit of double cream, and it's amazing. Like, it's so good. Oh, and some chili flakes. I roasted it with chili flakes as well. And yeah, it's a hit. It's a hit with me. I'm the only one that's eaten it so far, but I really like it. And I also, at the very end, I like put some kale in and then put the lid on and let the like steam from the soup cook the kale, and the kale like sunk into the soup, and so there's like, it's blitzed and like a smooth soup but with pieces of kale in it. It's really good. Last week my soup was a cauliflower cheese soup, which was delicious, but this week I wanted something a bit more nutritionally dense. So I thought some green veggies, seasonal squash, yeah, and that was my lunch. That was what I had for lunch. I had a lie down, which was great. Love to have a lie down. And then I went on a run. I'm doing the Couch to 5K program, which I've tried to do before but never kind of persisted with, but I've been pretty consistent with it so far, and I'm like in the middle of the 2nd week. I've done 5 runs. At the beginning you're like running and walking and running and walking and running and walking, but it feels good and I feel already like I'm making progress, which is great. And then I got back and I took a shower, hence why this is on my head, because I'm trying to dry my hair in such a way that will make it curly. Or at least as curly as possible for this evening, because I'm going to a Halloween party and I'm going as Veronica Sawyer from The Heathers, and I'm doing the costume a la the musical. So because my hair is quite short, I can just about, I think, do the same look as when Carrie Hope Fletcher was playing Veronica in the West End, with the like bob with the curly hair and the blue bow. So that's what I'm going for, but this is why I have this on my head. Yeah, and then I'm continuing to spend my weekend watching Gilmore Girls. I'm on the very last season, and I actually just have the last episode left of the last like original season. And yeah, so I'm taking a little break before I watch the very last episode, and then maybe I'll go on to watch the A Year in a Life movies, because that'll be a bit of a hoot and autumnal viewing. And then I'm finished with Gilmore Girls again, which is always a sad place to be in. But while I was watching, I knit another round of colours for my border for my shawlography shawl. So yeah, I'm gonna show you that. It's here in this bag that my lovely friend Anna made. Thank you, Anna, if you're watching. I'm using it for my shawlography shawl and it's great. It fits everything I need, and it's a fun colour, so that's great. And it also matches my other project bag, so we've got a bit of a purple theme going on. But yes, I am back to the shawl, so spoilers for the shawl. The last time, well, not the last time, I guess I'll show it when I finish, but this is the last Vlogtober vlog with the shawl in it. I am giving you a little sneak peek. Really enjoying the border. I'm enjoying how it is casting off as you go, and like how satisfying that is to be like, oh, I finished this bit, and also that it's giving me more of a sense of like I can stretch out the whole shawl and like see it, because before it was all scrunched up, but now because you're casting some bits off, I can kind of get a sense of like what it's gonna look like when it's finished, which is really nice. So yeah, I've done up to, I started with my blue and then green, orange, yellow, white, blue, green, orange, yellow, white, and then I did another round of that colour. So this is what I did yesterday, was I did that much, and then today I have done just the one repeat, but I've also been working on another project which I'll show you in a mo. So yes, I made a little mistake. I don't know where. Somewhere I've made a mistake. Maybe it'll come to me. I'll see the mistake as I continue down this road. But essentially, I ended up with you're supposed to have 8 stitches for the crossover, and when I got to the end, I only had 6 wraps for the crossover. So I just did a 3 and a 3 instead of a 4 and a 4, which meant that my first kind of section of colour is only 6 garter ridges instead of 7, because I did, instead of doing the correct amount of garter ridges, I did like the correct pattern, so I stopped it at the end of the little cross. So there's a little mistake there, but that's fine. Like, I've made it through the whole of this really complicated shawl and not had anything that's like been out of line, or seemingly I've had the right number of stitches the whole way through. So a little mistake at the end is, I think, nice. A little bit of character, and I will know it's there and no one else will know it's there, except you all now know because I've told you, but it's just between us, just we know. Yeah, so this is the shawl. I have a load more to do. It's a very long cast off. I think it's like 800 stitches or something. I might be just pulling that number out of my ass, but I think it's like over 800 stitches. That doesn't seem right, but maybe it is right. It definitely is a lot of stitches, and yeah, I'm quite keen to cast it off because I've been really itching to cast on my 7th Street shawl by Susan over at Knitlib. I have the yarn, it's in that other project bag, I'll show it to you in a moment, and I really want to cast it on. I'm just like, the colours that I have I'm so excited to use, but the needle that I need is here, is this needle. It's a 3.5 and I have no other 3.5, so either I put this on pause to start that, which just seems silly when I'm so close to being finished, or I crack through this and then I can start my 7th Street shawl, which I will show you the colours for in this bag. So this yarn is from Indie Yarn Club, and I think I've shown it before in its skein, but I now have it. Oh, it's so nice. I'm so excited. Look, it's so good. Look at that. OMG. It's so pretty, and I'm just thrilled to be knitting something with this soon, so watch this space. Hopefully the next time that we chat I will have finished my shawlography and I've freed up my 3.5mm needles, and I will be making something beautiful with these lovely colours. But the other project that I do have at the moment that I cast on yesterday, I'm having a real like cast-onitis, is that what they call it? I just really want to cast things on. I want to start new projects, I want to do things. So I started a pair of the crew socks, which was a pattern by, I don't know, Theory of Knitting, potentially. I'll link it down below. But I wanted to try this pattern because it involves a provisional cast on, and provisional cast on is something that like I've always felt like I couldn't do. Like people always talked about it and it felt really complicated, and it involves like picking up stitches and doing weird things. But since I did my tube socks and I did like afterthought everything, my confidence in being able to like do complicated things, and also complicated things that involve picking up stitches, has really increased. So I thought I would give it a try, and I had a bit of a frustrating start with it. I think I tried like 2 days ago to do it, but my brain was just fried, and I also like did it in like the largest size and used the wrong kind of yarn to do the provisional cast on, so it didn't pull away neatly. I had like a crochet cast on, and it didn't pull away neatly. It just like got messy and didn't work, and then when I'd finished it, it was way too big for my size. I think I must be quite a loose knitter because I knit the size that was suggested for my like foot size, and it was just way too big. So I'm now making the small, even though according to their chart I should be making the large, which is like 80 stitches, and this was like 62, but fits perfectly. So this is the sock. This is the sock. And the reason that there is a provisional cast on is because this bit at the top is a kind of folded over hem. So you provisional cast on, then you knit for like a certain amount of time, and then you join it together. You like pick it up on a different set of needles, and then you join them together to make this like rolled over hem, which I think is so rolled over cuff. I guess it's not a hem. I really like it. I'm very excited to keep knitting these. I have had to divide my yarn into 2 balls because on the foot you knit with it held double, which is interesting. I've never done that in the sock before. But the yarn that I have is this lovely yellow. Oh, getting a little, yeah, that is not really coming up correctly. But here it is. I'll show it far away. And it is, I'm holding the tag here, a shuffle yarn. It's German. I think they're the same people that do the like crazy balls with all the different colours. And it is a nylon free sock yarn. So it is, I think, 15% linen and 85% wool. So the linen supposedly gives it the extra strength rather than nylon. So I'm excited to try a no nylon sock yarn. And this I bought from Kim at Alternate Universe, who I like to buy from. She's someone that I've followed since her like blogging days, and you know, before she set up her shop, and I just think she's a really cracking human. So I don't know her, I just know her via her Instagram and web presence, but I used to read her blog back in the day, and yeah, followed her ever since. And now she has a yarn shop, and I bought this from her, and I really like it so far. It's got a lovely texture. It feels sheepy and pretty sturdy and quite soft. Like I'd be very happy to wear this directly on my foot. So yeah, and I'm hopeful that it will be relatively hard wearing. Like it feels like, especially doing this sock that has, you hold it double on the bottom. I'm pretty confident that they'll be pretty hard wearing, but I guess I don't know. I'll report back in an amount of time after I've made them and worn them for a while. So yes, I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to say about those socks, except that they're my kind of like little project that I'm now going to be able to take around with me, which is nice. Because the project that I had been taking to like knit on in my lunch break was the, what's it called, that jumper? What is it called? I don't know if looking at it will help me remember, to be honest, and I've shown it quite recently and it hasn't really changed, it looks the same. But the Jackie Cieslak jumper that I was making, that I cannot for the life of me remember the name, but I will stick it down there. It's like colour work at the bottom, and then I'm working on the like front panel at the moment, and that is like fine. It's just straightforward stockinette at the moment, but it's not a hugely portable project, so I'm happy to have another little portable project. But that's it. I only have those 3 things on my needles at the moment. So yeah, those are my knitting updates. Thank you for watching this far. If you're still watching, thank you for watching my Vlogtober videos this month. It's been fun to do like slightly more like casual videos. I feel like I'm finding my feet a bit more with like the sort of things that I want to make on YouTube. Yeah, I may return to the long form podcast format that I like started with. I may not. I like this a lot better, so I may just be coming in more casual formats from now on, but we'll see. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave me a comment down below with a knitting technique that you're afraid to try. That's what I want to know, because I feel like I've really conquered something with doing this provisional cast on. You know, I feel like I can conquer a lot more complicated knitting patterns now that I've tried this, and it was not as scary as I thought it was, although I didn't get it on the first try, which I know can be hard for people. So what's your provisional cast on? That is something that you would like to try but are a little scared too. So yeah, hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I'll be back when I'm back. Okay, bye! I gotta go get dressed up as Veronica Sawyer.